Now this first one is the most important to get you started. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take that first bundle of 4 and we're going to put it through the slot that is directly in front of the slot that these ends are already in. So I've actually counted how many slots in it is, and I've counted how many slots it needs to be on the front. So for mine it's 17 slots. I've counted and I've brought it forward into the exact same slot so it's perfectly straight from the back heddle to the front heddle. Now I'm going to divide up these 4 ends, and I'm going to take one end, just going to lift it up. I'm going to move it from the back slot to the back hole. And when it comes back into the front slot, it's going to come to the slot that is to the right of the current slot. So it's going to the hole on the left in the back, and it's going to the slot on the left at the front. So there's that first end. Now that I have that back hole and the front slot threaded, I'm going to take the next 3 ends. So I've got 3 ends left in the slot, and I'm going to thread them. Let's try and do this here. So I'm going to thread it to this slot that I just put an end in. Oops, I've got too many there. So now this slot has 2 ends. So slot. The next one is going to go to the hole. And the final one is going to stay in its current slot. So that bundle of 4 is done. If you want to just tie it in a slip knot, then you know it's done and checked. Then we can go on to our next bundle of 4, and it's a little bit easier. I'm going to take the first end. They're, by the way, sitting on the top of my reed. I'm going to take the first end, I'm going to thread it to the hole to the left, to the right of the slot behind, and then it's going to come into this slot here. So the end that we left the slot that we left that final end in, it's going to go into that slot. So I'm going to go in that slot, I'm going to go through the hole at the back, and I'm going to grab my end. So I'm behind my second heddle, I'm grabbing that end and pulling it through. So now I have 2 threads in this slot. Now I'm going to take the final 3 ends, and I'm going to thread them slot, hole, slot. So into the same slot, into the hole, and into the slot. So what I have here is I've got 3 ends in the slot, 1 in a hole, 1 in a slot, and when I do my next bundle, I'm going to end up with 3 in this slot. So in the front of your reed, you will see 3 ends in every slot except the first and last one, and 1 end in each hole. And the same thing at the back. You'll have 3 ends in each slot and 1 in each hole. I'm just going to set this up at a different angle so you can see what's going on between the reeds. So I'm going to grab my next group of colors, which is yellow. I'm going to take my first group of 4, and I'm going to take 1 end, and I'm going to thread it through the hole at the back. So I'm coming behind my second heddle to pick up that yellow. That's the hardest part, is getting that back hole threaded can be a bit of a challenge. The rest of it's pretty easy. So that's in the back hole now. Now I'm going to take the remaining 3 ends. They're all going to stay in that back slot, and I'm going to thread them slot, hole, and slot. So I'll take my next bundle of 4. I'm going to go into the slot that I just left my end in, and then I'm going to go through the back hole, catch it on my hook, pull it through, and then in the front I'm going to go slot, hole, and slot. And we're going to do that all the way across our loom. As I finish each color, I'll just tie them into a slip knot because I'll know that they've been checked and they are correct. So back through both reeds and thread 1 through the hole. Then I'm going to take those remaining 3 and thread them in the front slot, hole, and slot. You'll get into a rhythm of it, and you can always check just to make sure that you've got everything straight.